Growing up, I used to get into a lot of fights. Not that I was looking for them, they just happened to find me. And out of all of the fights that I had, I never lost a single one. And to be honest, I don't remember ever getting hit, which gave me this false sense of security for many, many years afterwards, that I was someone who could fight, that someone who could defend themselves. And later on, I would come to realize how terribly wrong I was. I didn't get into a lot of fights because I was looking for them. They just happened to find me. I had a rough childhood. I was in some rough places, rough situations, and a lot of that meant having to defend myself. Someone just wants to pick on you for no reason. Someone doesn't like the way that you walk. Someone doesn't like the way that you're looking at them, the way that you're talking. A lot of the times these fights would happen over the smallest, most inconvenient things. I was forced into a lot of these altercations where I had no choice but to defend myself. A common theme with these school fights, a big crowd would start to form, and suddenly it's you, someone else, and everyone around you. There's no escape. No matter how much you want to talk your way out of it, no matter how much you try to push through, everyone's shoving you back into the circle because everyone wants to see a show. Phones are out, everyone's enjoying themselves, having a blast, because that's all they care about. They don't care about you getting hurt. They don't care if you win. They don't care if you lose. They just want to see you fight. And I was put in many altercations like that, where I was surrounded by people, and no matter what I tried to do, where I tried to diffuse the situation, tried to move on, I was forced to defend myself. And I made it a rule never to swing first. It's a principle that I've had my whole life. If the altercation ever happens, never be the first one to throw the punch. Because once the first punch is thrown, that's all it is. It's violence, and you have no room to diffuse the situation. So I've always been a let them swing first person. Over these years of being in fight after fight after fight, where I've been forced to defend myself, and I know I was a quick kid, and I had some understanding of, I guess, martial arts, and I managed to handle myself quite well, you know. I never did more than I needed to do, and I never did less than I could. And because of that, I never ended up getting hit, not once, and I also never lost a fight, which obviously never get hit, never lose. And that gave me this idea that I could fight, that I could defend myself, that I was strong enough. And since starting boxing, I've come to realize that that is a very false understanding. And it was very dangerous of me to think that way, because I was going about thinking that I could handle myself, that I could defend myself, that if the situation arose, I could deal with it. But this isn't high school anymore. I'm not a young kid against other young kids who just want to have a scrap. You know, some people are trained, they get trained to a certain degree, and they get a big ego about it. Watching myself back on my very early boxing and obviously going through the journey, I know for a fact that anyone who was even slightly trained, and if they tried to fight, I would have been laid out. And that's just a fact. And I didn't understand these mechanics. Watching back, my stance was very open. I kind of had a similar thing, but it was very centered and very bang, bang, you know. It was very open. And my whole movement, it's so obvious, it's so open, it's so telegraphed. I've had many altercations, many people in my face, many arguments throughout the years, but I haven't had a fight for a very long time, thankfully, because I know how to diffuse a situation, I know how to talk someone down, I know how to avoid violence. But had these things turned into violence, I wonder if I would have been able to actually handle it. I wonder if I would have been able to defend myself. I can't truly confidently say that I could. This isn't to say that my past experience aren't valid and they aren't things to be remembered, because it wasn't a matter of having fun or picking fights. It was genuine survival for me as a young kid, as a teenager growing up. And starting boxing really humbled me and really made me understand that I wasn't where I thought I was. But doing boxing has now given me a new form of confidence, that I know where my level is and I know how capable I am. I know my limits. I know how far I can go, how much I can do. And that brings me on to another point of why I think it is so important to do martial arts, to be able to defend yourself. But I will get into that in another video. I went through life, I guess, with a chip on my shoulder, thinking that I could handle things, that I could defend myself, that I could fight. And I realized that that was completely false. I had a sparring match a few months ago, and in that sparring match, I was against someone who was actually skilled. I was doing boxing for about a month, and this person had done boxing / MMA for 11 years, and someone who was very skilled in fighting. And I sparred this person, and in that spar, I cracked my rib, I got punched in the throat. It was an incredibly humbling experience. The fact is that if that was on the street and it was a genuine altercation, a genuine problem, and I had to deal with it, I would have been laid out flat. I would not have been able to defend myself. I would not have had any control over that situation whatsoever. And I think that is one of the biggest distinctions, one of the most important things that I've learned from boxing, was that I'm truly not how I thought I was. I'm not as good as I thought I was. I'm not as capable as I thought I was. And that's life-saving. Because imagine if I went into a situation thinking how I was, and it was a situation where I couldn't have handled myself, but I went into it thinking I could, it could have turned out really bad for me. So it's important to test your limits. It's important to see how good you are. And my biggest takeaway, if you want to learn something from this video, if you want to apply this to your real life, go and do one session at a boxing gym. Just sign up for one test session, go do it, and see where you're at. See how bad you are, see how capable you are, and that will really humble you and put you in a position where you realize what you're actually capable of. And it will honestly probably save your life someday. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I would really love it if you could like the video and if you could comment down below and subscribe. I'm posting more content like this, a lot more boxing stuff, have some big plans, more talking videos. Go check out the channel, see if you like it. If you do, subscribe. If you don't, that's fine. But I really appreciate it anyway. You've watched this far. That means a lot to me. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.